Cool. So, did you already have school today too?
Yeah.
Holy smokes! And you came like straight from school, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, do you want? Okay, this is perfect. Let's take here. Put your horn down. I'm actually gonna sit next to you. Let's take 2 seconds to just like recalibrate, because you were just you just spent your whole day at school doing all kinds of stuff for that. Let's just kind of take a moment to like let all those things go. So many things here. So check it out. I have recently, in the last year or so, gotten more into meditation, and I find that at least for me, it's been really helpful to help me focus and be just kind of in the moment and to be my best self and also be happier. So let's just take 2 minutes. I'll guide you through something. Try it. Put your hands on your legs and just kind of get comfy. And then I invite you to close your eyes and just start taking deep breaths through your nose and out through your mouth. And back in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just keep the cycle going. As you're breathing and following your breath in and out, be aware of how your body feels against the chair, how your legs hit the chair, or maybe how your back is against the chair, and where you make contact. And now feel how your hands are on your legs and let them just kind of sink into your legs. Mind will wander and think of other things. And whenever that happens, you just gently bring it back to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. It's the return to your breath is going to be the thing that makes these meditation sessions valuable, because that is strengthening your ability to focus. Sitting here in the moment, take the next few breaths to be grateful for the opportunity to play music every day, and be grateful for the fact that you chose trombone, which is such a cool instrument, that you have parents that'll support you in helping you learn how to be better at music and have all kinds of fun opportunities. In the school program with all kinds of fun stuff to do, so you can find what you like to do the most. And now for the next couple breaths, I want you to try to imagine the most beautiful trombone sound in the world. The sound that you want to make on every note. Hear it in your mind, ringing out. All right. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thinking about sound, let's make some sounds. So I got a happy little condensation bucket, a spittoon of sorts. Let's do a little bit, I'm going to turn this off so our sound isn't crazy. A little bit of warming up so we can sound great. How about, let's get our air warmed up. Can we do 20 big breaths? 20 big breaths. Shooting across the room. Let's make sure this is out of your way, your slide, so you can be balanced. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Great. There's 20 now. We just used way more air than we're going to be able to use when we actually play. So when we go to make sound now, it should be so much easier than it was. Let's do. Feedback on our pitch here. Me too. So as we're doing a little meditation, we want to try to imagine the sound that we want. That's exactly the same reason why we do lots of call and response. Because when I'm playing, I'm trying to flood your mind with good sounds and good, just good sounds, so that hopefully when you go to play, those sounds that I just played are ringing in your mind, and it's going to help you come closer to what we want it to sound like, actually. So, and I'm just going to do this. Let's do that. Okay. So, bullseye is what we want, ideally. One sound a tiny bit sharp. Okay, let's keep going. Third position. Very nice. So you can see by the shape of our notes here, you can see the difference between your notes and mine. The biggest difference by far is that my notes are more even, and that's simply because my air is moving more evenly out. It's exactly the same. The shape of the sound is going to be a reflection of the way our air is moving. So to make those slurs better and more even, you just got to be. It sounds stupid, but just thinking even thoughts, trying to blow a consistent stream whenever you do these slurs. Let's do. Can we jump to this? Jump to this. I am going to. How about we start you at the beginning of this? We're only going to take the first few minutes to have you like run through this as if it's like a practice session almost. So I'll give you a beat, and then we'll start at the beginning, and we'll see how you do. I just want to listen to hear. Main thing I'm listening for is I want to check in to hear if the stuff that we've been working on, or these like kind of fundamental exercises, are moving in the direction we want to go. All right. So how about from the beginning? Number 1, 1, 2, 3. Keep that air flowing through. 2, 3. flowing through as you change notes. Keep it moving. 3 and 4 and better. Cool. Overall, pretty good. So big things I'm hearing, especially on the notes above F, you gotta make sure you have lots of follow through with that airflow. And remember when we did this last week a little bit, we were doing breath attacks, right? To make sure our air was there. I think that for the next week, if you do some more breath attacks, especially F up to B flat, that's gonna help you get used to that faster air right away. So. So that you get used to starting it right away, and then you can really continue to lean into it. When you're doing long tones, there's a lot of value. We are going slow enough and holding these notes so we can hear our sound, try to make it more beautiful, but you also get a chance every single time to take a great breath, to start your sound immediately. All right, so there's 3 things you can win on every time you're doing a long tone. You get great breath, immediate start, and then your best possible sound. And then you repeat that cycle. Great breath, immediate sound, great breath, immediate sound, and then the best possible sound. Number 2. 1, 2, 3. Much better. And now, how about we do on number 3? Let's switch it up a tiny bit. How about I play a B flat, you play it back, then I play a B natural, you play it back, and we'll just go 1 measure at a time. So 4 counts of B flat, then you go 4 counts of B flat, 4 counts of B, 4 counts of B, and we'll see what happens. How your lips sound? You're doing this. I'm worried you're already beat up. Did you play a bunch today too? That's cool. How many band periods do you have?
I have jazz band, and then I have Squire band right after that, which is for periods of like 95 minutes.
Oh, but that's in the beginning of the day, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, and you have to do jazz band without like any warm up. It's like go. We might have to devise a 5-minute thing that you do right when you get to jazz band, just to make sure that you're doing healthy stuff, each day. Let's try number 3. Like I said, I play a bar and then you copy, and then I'll play the next bar. So. Slide low. It's okay. Think about saying the word T, like you're saying T. 3. Super close, and it's okay if you miss, but hold that note. We gotta blow. We have to blow for that note as if we never missed it ever, and we have no fear of missing. That's the only way we can get used to that faster air. If we go huh, and just blow a little air, like, and hope it comes out, we haven't fully committed. That's only like 80% commitment. We need 100, and 100 means we are okay if we miss. You know what I mean? So you gotta blow as if you've never missed before. You know? 1, 2, 3. It's okay. Sorry, let it go. And cool. Great. On these upper notes, since this is a little out of your comfort zone, you want to think actually like flat 3. It's totally cool to just put time in between them so that you're always making your best sound. Because if you try to go one to the next to the next to the next, it's going to get worse and worse, right? But if you let the sound clear, take a fresh breath, then you're practicing sounding great, right? Let's go to. We already did a couple slurs. When you play this, it probably says at the beginning. I was going to ask which ones of these have you been doing?
1 through 8.
Okay, Juice goes awesome. We basically did number 4. Let's jump to, I think it's 7 and 8. Yeah. Let's do these. And we'll do these a little quicker than that. How about. There we go. Can we go 7? Number 7 and then number 8. So remember, every time on everything, we've got a chance to take a great breath, a chance to start clean and clear, and then maintain our best sound. And with these 2-beat rests, I always like to think of them, instead of like a rest, think of it, you're trying to fill them up with air. Okay? So you'll watch. My air is always moving. Check this out. Cuts off the note. I don't stop the note and then breathe. I just start breathing. And breathing in stops the note at the same time. Okay, number 7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now start right there and work backwards. So we're gonna go boom, boom, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, opposite. 2, 3. Blow through the change of the notes. Pause for a second. I'm hearing what sounds to me like a pulse or almost a tongue. It sounds like this. We want it to be more closer to this. Our lips would do this. 1, 2, 3. It should be more like a slide. Don't worry, the horn will put it in a spot. Check it out. So each note spills into the next note, into the next note. Cool? 6. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. This okay? Yes. Good. Keep it up. Fiddle. Beautiful. It's okay. Keep going. Has anyone ever talked to you about the shape of your mouth on the inside when you go to play? Did anyone talk to you about your mouth at all when you go to play? Just really okay, cool. Actually, that's good. No information is better than bad information. So when we go to play, just like a singer, we can control our sound by changing the shape of our mouth, or just like when we're talking. So it sounds different if I go la as opposed to lo. All of those have their own characteristics. The same thing happens on trombone. If I say it, or my sound will change if I'm saying ah, o, e, whatever, oo. All those things will change the sound. So, like for example, here is an e sound. Here's an o sound. You hear how different that was? So I went E-O. So our goal is to be as O as possible, but being E, just say O-E, and notice what your tongue does. O-E. What's your tongue do?
It pulls back.
Goes back and up, right? So when your tongue is saying E on the inside, E, E, not E here, not stretching the lips, but E on the inside, what happens is your tongue goes up, and when your tongue goes up, it makes the air coming out of your mouth rush over the top of your tongue, just like an airplane wing, and that makes the air go faster. That's how you get lift, that's how we fly. Yay! So when I go to play higher notes, or same thing for you, what's happening is our tongue is just funneling the air in different, faster and faster. So like when I play super high, my tongue is like, it's way up here, and it means that's all that's happening. Everything else is the same. That is just me playing with this, how high my tongue is. So when you play these lip slurs, be aware of what your tongue is doing. It's like, this is getting hard as I go up. What happens if I try saying E a little bit more? It might help out. Or when you're going down, it's like, my lower notes are sounding a little bit angry. What if I try saying O a little bit more, E, O. That might help round out your sound. Something to keep in mind. Just the higher the tongue, the faster the air. All right, and now we're gonna do some tonguing on your scales. How are your scales doing? You're doing C, B flat, F?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And we talked a little bit about the other, I think I gave you oh, you have them here, perfect. Did you experiment with any of these with these guys? No? Okay. Cool. We're doing the sound over break. Sorry,
Doing
it
a
is.
lot of
Contraptions. Mutes? Yeah. Yeah, well, part of it is, so a couple of them down there are tenor mutes. So like tenor and bass, they have different size instruments, so like the mutes will be different, but there's lots of cool ones. Have you seen many trombone mutes before? All right, I'll give you a quick little demo. So the most common mute, here, and you got a tenor trombone. You want to try one? This is a straight mute. Try to plug it into your belt. So a straight mute has a very metallic sound. This is the most common one that you'll ever use. And you just plug it in. Does it stay in? Yeah, it's cool. And if it falls, it's cool. It's carpet. And it makes your sound very like I said, like metal. Try it. See what it sounds like. Yeah, and you always still want to try to make your best sound. Let the mute do its own thing. You focus on making beautiful trombone sound. Nice. So that's one mute. Here, let me snag that. Then probably the next most, a little twist. The next most common mute is a cup mute. Here's my tenor cup mute. And a cup mute, I'm trying to think of what the best way to describe it. This makes a very covered and mellow sound. You try it? Does it stay?
No.
Sorry, it might be because that means old. It might not be. Might not fit. Here. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah, it's gonna be tight. Tight squeeze. Yeah, if it falls, don't worry about it. Just want you to try it out. Blow a couple notes. Yeah, this is an old mute. It's rattling against itself. Try again. Safe to say, I probably need a new tenor cubby. Okay, and then I don't have a lot of other tenors. So this is a wood straight and a wood cup. Oh, you could try this. You ever used a plunger? You ever seen a plunger mute?
My brother has one.
He has. Does your brother play trombone
He
too?
plays trumpet.
Cool. Here, you can try this one. The plunger mute is also a really well-known. So you would hold it with your left hand. It makes playing trombone a bit awkward. Hold your left hand and you put the bell right on your edge of your palm. Yeah. And then the mute, you don't want it to be right in the middle. You want it to be off to the side, because even just a little bit of mute is going to totally change the sound. So most of the time when you're playing the plunger mute, what ends up happening is you go. This is how you get the wah wah sound. So you go. And then you can kind of tell, even just with a little bit of plunger, it changes your sound a lot. But people do all kinds of cool stuff with this. It make it really sound like a voice. Maybe I'll send you some Wycliffe Gordon videos, but. Anyways, all kinds of fun stuff here. You can try do a couple wah-wahs. There you go. And then let's see. I don't have a tenor version of this. This is called a Harman mute. Harman
My brother
mutes.
has one of those.
Yeah, I hate these mutes. Full disclosure, they're super heavy. They never want to stay in your bell, and they are not fun to blow through because they're lots of resistance. You know, it's like feels like you're blowing through a coffee straw. And then they also can change the sound by changing the stem. So you can do like. Oh, come on. The stem comes out, and that sounds like this. It's a cool sound, but I just don't like playing them. And then probably my favorite mute. I want to keep this out for fun. My favorite mute is a bucket. And the bucket makes it sound like you're just floating on it. Your sound is like it's like a cloud or something. I love that sound. It's really cool. Anyways, there's your little mini mute lesson 101. Okay, so I want to check out your. What do I want to do? Do we want to do some scales right now? Or did you get a bunch of new music? No? You have the same jazz music? You know, okay. We're not going to do scales right. Actually, let's do B flat and then do a little improv and then check out your some of your music. So, how about we go let's see. Can we first do B flat? Can you play for me B flat major scale? And you're gonna glissando what's written. So, breathe anytime you need to, but otherwise glissando. Okay. Oh, and this is a practice mute. You'll get to know it soon. This one makes you sound softer, and yeah, it's kind of like lifting weights. You'll see. Okay, so practice mute or not practice. B flat. Here we go. 1, 2, glissando. Remember the air and the slide are two different things. So you can blow even air while your slide moves in time, okay? It's even long note air while your slide is rhythmic. 1, 2, 3. Natural, yeah. 2, best to stay in time. Better job staying in time. We're getting a little more of that you heard it though, so that's good. That means not good that you're doing it, but good that you're noticing. Because now when you play that way, you can go, oh, Will told me I should try this other thing, you know, and you can make that adjustment. Let's do it together once and try to do it the even way, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Good. So we got B flats. Let's now do. So we got the arpeggio, right? That B flat major arpeggio. Remember when we were doing the improv. Those were the notes that we used, right? B flat, D, F, and B flat. We're gonna learn one more note for our improv, and that's gonna be we're gonna add an A. So we're gonna have a B flat major 7 chord. Yeah! So, B flat major 7 chord, check it out. This is how you build it. You use your 1, 3, and 5, just like your normal B flat major. It would look like, just right here. It would look like this. B flat, probably would have an M, major 7. If it's just a 7, that's something else. So B flat major 7. So you're going to build that by making your B flat, which is 1, 3, and 5, B flat, F, D, and F. And then you just add in the 7. And the 7, since it's a major 7, you just take the 7 you take it right out of the major scale. So you just played your major scale right there. The 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th is an A natural. Cool? It's going to sound like this. It's a very pretty jazzy sounding chord, but. So we've got B flat major 7. So you could do that. You could build, here we go, pop quiz. What would the notes be in an F major 7?
It would be F, A, and the C, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the E.
Yeah, F major 7 is F-A-C-E. Exactly right. And you'll notice, look, it's space, then the A is another space, then the C is another space, and the E is another space. So these chords, when you put them on top of each other, they stack up. It looks like a stack of notes. I don't know how else to put it. So we're going to be messing today with our B flat major 7 chord. Let me pull this up. One sec. Where are you at, Mr. Shelleyberg? So, let's do a call and response first, and let's first do it with, how about voice? So just copy. 2, 3. Ba ba doo da. Ba ba doo da. Doo ba doo wah. Doo ba doo wah. Doo ba doo wah. Doo ba doo wah. Doo ba doo ba da da. Doo ba doo ba da da. Doo ba doo ba da da. Doo ba doo ba da do da do do. every single one, they only used those 4 notes: B flat, D, F, and A. B flat major 7 chord. Let's try it. Let's try copying now on the horn. Obviously going to be a little bit more challenging because you have to know to move around. But remember, you only have 4 options. So if one doesn't sound right, just try another. Cool? Here we go. Call and response.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Put that scoop on there. Great job. I feel like if we did that one more time, you would potentially nail all of them. Let's do now. We're gonna do B flat. Try it on your own, and you have now earned the right to play A's. And we're gonna do call and response. You and me, or not call and response. We're gonna do like a little conversation, and you're allowed to play. Well, allowed. I encourage you to play B flats, D's, F's, and A's. Here we go. I'll go first.
1, 2, 2, 3.
Oh. Cool, nice work. There's in the middle there, when you were going for an A, an E popped out.
Yeah.
And it sounded like, oh, kind of crazy, right? Because it's an E is actually one of the most dissonant notes against a B flat. It's almost as dissonant as possible. You okay? You're
Yeah.
laughing. That's okay. So, no, that's okay. The cool thing is, in jazz, when you're improvising, if you do something once, it may sound to a listener like a mistake. But if you do that thing again on purpose, all of a sudden they go, ooh, that person's trying to be like jazzy or something, right? They think you did it on purpose. So you can you may, in the moment, you may be like, oh no, I just made a mistake. But if you do that again, all of a sudden people will be like, ooh, that was kind of cool, right? That's why when I came in, I started playing that E to try to play off of that thing and make it, just part of the conversation, There's no wrong notes when you improvise, And if there's a note that you're playing and you don't like how it sounds, you're only one slide position away from making it sound pretty good, most likely. So, yeah, cool. Let's do it one more time. You have a question?
Dude, can I use the bathroom?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just talking nonstop. That you can use this one if you want, or you can go downstairs to the other one. They're both the same. do 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 do. Good. All right, let's look at this music. Do 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 do. Awesome. So again, slide cream. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, that's good though. Packet, cool. Oops. Milestones. Cool. We'll do the milestone select.
1, 2, 2, 3.
Hey, welcome back. Okay, I was looking at your music, trying to figure out what we should look at. And unless you think otherwise, I think a good spot we could dig into for a moment is also by the way, check it out. Cruising along, look at these chords. F major 7. You just figured out the notes in that chord, right? G, so that's a different. When it's just a 7 next to it, it's called a dominant 7. And that means you, instead of taking the note straight out of the major scale, you put a flat on the 7.
Okay.
So, for example, if that's a G and it's G dominant 7, we flip back to our G chord, or our G thing, G. And we pull out the 1, 3, 5, so G, B, D, and then the 7 would normally be F sharp. So that means in this one, dominant 7 means you put a flat on it, which cancels out the sharp, turns it into F natural.
Okay.
I know I just talked a lot in a circle with no things, but G, B, D, and F natural. So then you got G minor 7, that'd be a little different. In that one, I'll talk about it later, but so big thing for now, major 7, you can just pull the notes straight out of a major scale. So you, all of a sudden now you kind of have a better idea of what notes might sound good in this song. All right, I was gonna say we should check out the milestones. In the middle of milestones is a cool, like the entire group plays a little soli together.
Yeah.
That would be worth sounding awesome on, so that everyone will want to try to sound like you. So let's check it out. So, so we're in the key of F. So that kind of help formulate what positions you're going to be going to. Lots of second position, right? So I believe this starts right at 63. Is it, or does it start even before that? Is it here too? Do da, 2, 3, 4, bop, boo, bop. Or is it? I think it's loud. 2, 3, 4. Ba do ba da do bop. 3, 4. Boo bop. Ba 2, 3, 4. Ba do ba da do ba da bee bop. Wee bop bee da boo da. Cool. Can we try some of these? How about we go? Let's go. Do da. Ba do ba da do da do. Hey, that's not it. I gotta make this swing better somehow. No. Alright, we're gonna do without the metronome until I figure out how to do that. Let's try to do, actually, you know what works really well? In jazz, you can always do kind of like offbeats. So like 2, 3, 4. I'm being weird. Yeah, so actually, this is a good question. How would you normally work on this on your own?
Go to the hardest part
Yeah.
that I have the most trouble with, and you just do that.
And just do it? What do you mean by just do that?
Go through it. Make sure I know where all the positions are,
Mm-hmm.
what the rhythm is.
Cool, so you kind of build it up. That's great. What if we do, so I would do the same, I do the same thing. I look for the hardest things and then I try to break them down and make them easier. Because usually what happens is you're given something that might be too hard to play your first time, or there's too many details to get all those details the first time through. So I build things up. So I start by, let's take this first lick here. So this is, or kind of second lick, just before 71, measure 68. So 68 and 69, I would first start with, there's a few elements in music. We have notes, we got rhythms, we got style, right?
Yeah.
Pitches, rhythms, and style. So I would start by just working on one at a time. So first, let's just get some notes. That means that you don't have to tongue anything. That means you just play the pitches in the sequence you see. So for me, I would do something like this. There's no details at all except for my best sound on the right notes in the right order. Try right here. Do from that D natural. All the notes the same length and slow-ish. Very nice. Let's do it once again and just glissando. Get your best sound. Same thing, and add some tongue now. Da 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 dee da, and really, really sing. Now you've played it a few times, you kind of know what it sounds like. Sing that melody in your head when you play. Da 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 da. Go for it. Somewhere. And now, so we now have added a little bit of articulation to the sound that was good, and now we can try to add some style. So the style on this is just going to be soft and swung. Da do da do da do da do da do da. You try. Make sure that you keep making sound constantly like you were before. Before you made sound, it was just bricks of beautifulness, and then when we started to get fancier with the style, all of a sudden we got the bricks changed shape.
Okay.
They got like there were more space. Hear how all those notes fit together into one package. You check. Now, just for coordination, just to take it one step further, let's do reverse swing. Pretend like the first note is the downbeat. Sounds weird, right? Just so you know how you're doing 3 to start, 3. Think of it as 2, 3, or whatever. Just make the D, make that first note the longer one. Yeah. Do da do da do da da. You know what I mean? It's kind of reverse swing. It'll be weird at first, but try it out. Exactly right. One more time. It's better to do great repetitions that are under tempo, and then when you get to school and the whole band's kicking, then you can bring up the tempo a little bit. But most of your practice, like I would say almost all of my practice happens at like between 50% tempo and about 75-80% tempo. I'm rarely practicing something at the performance level tempo because you're at a higher risk of making mistakes, and I don't like learning mistakes. Let's keep going. That was great. Let's do the next bar. So remember, let's build it up. First you get notes, then you get rhythms, and then style. So. Oh, sorry, this was my sound. So long notes first, making your best sound on each pitch. Bar 70. Yeah. Don't even worry about the scoop yet. Da. Yeah, and remember, we don't even need rhythm. to show our slide where to go. That's all we're doing. And then once it goes through that same once it goes through the pattern slowly a few times, when you try to go fast, it goes, hey, I remember this, and then does it great, even though you're going fast. You know what I mean? Try again. Yeah, very nice, very nice. What if we do, let's add the articulation and keep the note length the same. So now we're going to add the scoop. We're going to go dwee dot, D slur dot, do dot. You know what I mean? Add all articulations, but still long notes.
Can I hit the note?
You got it. Remember T, T. Good, good. And now you can start to add the rhythm back in. So what if we try the other end of the other way to do this would be to start with the rhythm first, and that means you eliminate the pitches, right? So we can if we get rid of the notes and we only play the rhythm, you can do something like. All of a sudden we've got that lick. Or starting here. I'm playing the style and the rhythm, but without any pitches, and then you put them together over time. Okay, cool. So my big recommendation on this, when you're learning music, simplify so you can work on one element at a time.
Okay.
That way, then you can put them together and you can have lots of great details. And then, let's see. Remember your major 7 chord is the 1, 3, 5, and 7. Straight out of your major scale. And I think that was it. Your mom was saying about next week, because I know next week is Monday's Labor Day. Are you guys doing fun things, hopefully?
I think we go hiking every Labor Day.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm free that week, so if you if there's a better day, just Tuesday. Yeah, we can do Tuesday.
3:30 or 4.
Okay.
Could probably ask her which one.
Sounds good. Let me make a note real quick.
And I have that and my notebook.
Cool. Any new fun things you listened to this week? Any new songs? Or new trombone idols?
Oh, I watched Joe Aless.
What'd you think of Joe? Pretty
I
amazing.
can barely tell he's playing.
Right? Isn't that cool?
Wait, you can see he like moves. So if you stay still, you
His
wouldn't
eyebrows
tell.
go like. That's the craziest thing. But oh my gosh, amazing player, totally amazing. He's from San Francisco area.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's great. Cool. Keep on checking that stuff out. See what you wrote. I'm always curious because you take good notes. A lot of my students did not take good notes. Some of them were just really funny, the things that people would write down. Cool. The one thing, this is just a mental thing, but whenever you make notes for yourself, you always want to tell yourself what you want to do. So write down what you want to do rather than don't. For example, because our brain does not understand the word no or don't. For example, don't think about a purple elephant in your face, right? First thing, purple elephant, right? So that same thing happens if you go to play trombone and I say, don't do this, don't do that. The first thing you think about is those things. So instead, you want to, when you're making your notes, tell yourself what to do. So if it said in there, you wrote down, don't puff your cheeks, instead say, maybe firm corners and send all the air through the mouthpiece, right? Because then you're telling yourself your goal, you know what I mean? And that applies to everything we do. We always want to fill our mind with what we want rather than talking about what we don't want, you know? And that's going to make it a lot easier to get. Cool? Mm-hmm. Sweet. Awesome. You're good.